All right, welcome in to the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. Lots of stuff to get into tonight. Some heartbreak for the Chanticleers. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about all kind of silly stuff here as we roll along this evening. I have to welcome in my podcast co-host. He is in the upstate. He is known as Carolina Jackpot, but I call him my friend Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, sir?
Not much. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing well. Start the show off quick here. I watched what was it? There was a TikTok video with you talking about Bush Light, and you're wearing some kind of hat today. Tell people about that.
Oh, yesterday? Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it today, but I'm like, I go through my TikTok feed, and there's Jackpot with a hat on, talking
Yeah.
about Bush Apple beer.
Yeah, I
What the hell?
was just impersonating this food review guy on TikTok, this young guy that's kind of fucking annoying. He's like, his channel is called Trying Shit Across America, and every time he comes on, he's like, Trying Shit Across America. And I'm like, I want to make fun of this fucker. And I was kind of half drunk yesterday after doing some yard work and stuff, and I'm like, I'm going to do a TikTok on this damn Bush Apple beer to the Trying Shit Across America. So,
Well,
all that
Jackpot
was.
drinking Bush Apple beer on TikTok. That's go and find Jackpot on
That's a very hot.
TikToker.
That's a very hard beer to find. Limited edition and that. So,
Well, anyway, I want to watch Jackpot drink Bush Light Apple. Is it Bush? Is it called Bush Light Apples or just Bush Apple?
that's Bush Light Apple.
Bush Light Apple. Okay.
Oh, the first time I ever tried that iconic drink was 4 summers ago in the Poconos. I bought a 12-pack of it at a ShopRite in Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, out in the middle of nowhere, and took it to the resort with us. And I drank that one night. I was doing a live stream. Anyway, they discontinued it after that year, and now they brought it back for a limited time, I guess.
Well, we'll see. We can get it. We can talk about that. But I mean,
These
there's
companies are weird the way they introduce. Yeah, like it's weird. Like the big rib comes back for just like a limited time, and then it goes away, and so on and so forth. It's like the Bush Light Apple. It sells so great. Like, why don't they just manufacture it all the time? I'm like, are they thinking that's going to kill the sales on their regular product or something?
I don't know. I think that if you notice, the McRib comes back like around Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the McRib comes back, and it's the same time every year.
Yeah, no, it was a heartier sandwich.
So
I probably haven't eaten one of those in 15 years, but
I don't get the whole thing they put pickles on it. Like, what the hell are you
with that, it may be longer ago than that. I don't know, man. I can't get with the little onions, the way they slice the onions for it. They're just weird. Right? Their regular hamburgers, why do they have the little small, tiny diced onions on those? Those are about perfect, but the McRibs got the weird cuts of onion. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. But anyway, Jesus, my
Billy
wife's saying
said,
ridiculous shit.
Billy said, watch a McRib made on YouTube, you won't eat it. Probably a lot of things you wouldn't eat. If you saw it on YouTube, probably wouldn't. Probably a lot of places, restaurants and whatnot, you probably wouldn't eat at if YouTube had a camera in the kitchen areas.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Okay. There's like this culmination. Damn it, Karen. There's this culmination about in the chat here about what Rob drinks. Billy thinks I drink Mad Dog 2020. That would be incorrect.
Ooh.
Army 3275 says
Not
I'm
in
a
high
Natty Light
school.
man. Yeah, I'm not drinking natural light, brother. If you must know,
he drank Miller Lights when I at whatchamacallit.
That's what I drink. Miller Light, my friend. If I'm drinking, it's Miller Light, man. That's the beer that I normally
They're over
like
there,
to really
Big Barney
drink.
Ross and Tiger Red Devil, and them are talking about the White Castles.
My fat ass will eat White Castles.
Have you? Have you ever eaten out of White Castle?
I have.
Yeah, I've eaten from there. First time I ever ate from at actual White Castle. You know what city that was in?
That was probably in somewhere in Pennsylvania.
No,
Okay.
I'll give you one more guess.
Alabama?
No, it was actually Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Back in 2015, yeah, on the way to Indiana. And
Yeah.
then I also have eaten there in New Jersey, but then never since. That's very hard to find. There's no White Castles right anywhere around here. When after the Vanderbilt game 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2020, whenever 2022, after that game was up, that was the night game.
Yeah.
Which one was at night? That one was at night. The one this past year was in the afternoon. Either way, the hotel me and my son stayed at was outside of Nashville, and the GPS and everything I had on my phone, it showed there was a White Castle down the road from our hotel. And we're like, yeah, let's go hit that up. Yeah. And we got there and like followed the directions, and it wasn't fucking there. I mean, it was gone. I mean, it had been, I asked somebody at the MAPCO station, the gas station there, it's called the MAPCO. They have those in Tennessee. About the White Castle. I said, that place closed like 2 years ago. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is it doing still on my damn phone? GPS. Anyway, so we ended up eating at an IHOP restaurant. Because this was late. This was like 11 o'clock by this time. And there was nobody in there except for some guy from a foreign country that was kind of strange. Was putting a lot of salt and pepper on his food and staring at everybody out of the corner of his eye. And then the waiter / I think he was the dishwasher and everything else. He was like really strange, and he kept coming upstairs. Y'all okay? Everything all right? Y'all all right? Yeah. Well, okay. So let me know if y'all need anything. Then he went back outside, and he was like painting like some kind of frame on the door of the IHOP. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, they've got this crackhead working here, and he's painting, washing dishes, and bringing the food to the table. So my son was getting he was getting on his nerves. He was getting my son's nerves. He was like, go away, you damn crackhead. Coming over the table every time. Y'all okay?
I could see Jackpot Jr. being like, listen, crackhead, get the hell away from me.
He was being like real over the fucking top, attentive, because number one, he was a crackhead, so there was something wrong there. Number two, I'm sure he was fiending for a big tip because it was probably, he didn't have any customers, and he probably needed the money. So I don't know. I think the meal at the time, I think it ended up being like $30, and I probably gave him like an $8 or $10 tip just because I felt sorry for him.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Jackpot and his experience.
They're in the process of buying it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what are you buying, Jackpot?
What they're buying, my son and his friend, they're buying a pizza restaurant.
There you go.
Yeah, they're buying the pizza restaurant that they work in Frodo's up here in Greenville. This place it's an icon. If anybody is from the Greenville upstate area, it's right across from Greenville Tech. Been there since it opened in 1979.
Okay.
Place has been there for a long time.
Is Carolina Jackpot a silent sponsor or what?
Shame on me. I've never eaten a meal from there. No, I mean, it's not because of anything. My son lives out on his own with his buddy, and like I don't ever really eat with him or hang out with him much because I don't have time. Like, in fact, the only time I've ever really spent a lot of time at his place was last year during that hurricane, because he had power and water, and I could take a shower and stuff there. And I mean, it's just like I work all day long, and where his restaurant is, it's like totally, it's nowhere near where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Well,
Greenville's a sprawling. It's a big place. Like if it was Columbia, let's say his restaurant is in 5 Points, but my potato chip route is in Blythewood. You know, it's nowhere close.
Well, it's cool that your son is, got that entrepreneurial spirit, and he's gonna trying to buy that restaurant. That's pretty cool.
Brandon Coon said, if you've never ate at Dempsey's Pizza, it's worth the drive to Clinton. Facts, big facts. I haven't eaten there in a long time, but I like that place. They have the cool old school type of salad bar that still has the little ham cubes on it, like they used to have at Quincy's or Ryan's or somewhere like that back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Dempsey's is a buffet, but it's better than Pizza Inn. Yeah, I think they even expanded it a few years ago and built onto the dining room. So
yeah. Well, anyway, you've got we had some stuff happen today. You've got Coastal Carolina falls short. They lose to LSU today. Our YouTube thumb today is their coach losing his shit and getting kicked out in the first inning. Sean, whatever.
Something that starts with an S and it's hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
No.
There you go. Anyway, he lost his shit.
Schnall. He lost his shit and got kicked out. I knew he did. And then they scored like 5 runs the next inning, right?
Right. Well, and it was it was interesting in that the NCAA said that he was arguing balls and strikes. I think of it from this perspective. You can argue balls and strikes, but it's not going to help you. I mean, they're not, it's not like the umpire's going to be like, I listened to him. He said my strike zone's too small or whatever. I don't know. It was pretty stupid.
Billy says he knew better.
He did.
I see here. Billy says he knew better. I didn't see this exchange, but I got to agree with that. NCAA and they know that this game has more damn eyeballs on it probably than like all college baseball games combined all year long.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not going to put up with. They're not going to let him get out there and grandstand or any shit like that. You're going to toss because it's going to make the game look bad. No.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we have that.
Randall says, "Let's make this about the winner." That's
brother.
That's fair.
LSU won the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
LSU fans get on my nerves a little bit too because they have to be. They can win the damn. They can be the prom queen, but still have to be told 18 years later that they're still beautiful. You won the damn thing. You won what? 2 out of the last 3 years or whatever. You've won the trophy. I mean, it's safe to say you have a baseball dynasty there. What else do you want me to say, man?
I don't mind the LSU.
The story that people will remember, though, is the coach getting thrown out, right? I think that's what people will remember.
Army says, Sports Talk Jay told me Michigan sent LSU the Coastal Carolina pitching signals.
Shit.
What was I going to say?
Said you didn't mind the LSU.
I don't mind the LSU fans at all being happy about that. In fact, the only thing I don't like LSU is the particular members of their media. That one guy that I fucking
Matt Magona or whatever his name is.
that fucking goon. I wanted to punch that motherfucker in his fucking face. Fuck that guy.
He was on my show at one point.
Oh really?
And, yeah, he was a douche then, and he's still a douche.
Oh yeah, he's a mega fucking douche. And if we happen to beat them this year, I'm gonna rub it fucking in. I'm gonna try to get in contact with him somehow and rub it in his face because he was sitting there that Monday talking about our fans and man, fucking crying. No, what? Okay, if the tables had been turned, do you think they would have acted any differently? I mean, come on.
I don't know. We'll see that matchup is coming. We also have the NBA Finals tonight.
Wow.
Game 7 Pacers and
the Thunder. The Thunder at Thunder.
And Pacers lead the Thunder at the half by a point.
Lou's over there doing their watch along on that game. I was listening to.
I'm sure Lou has several bets on that. Would
Yeah.
not surprise me.
They do a bet like every quarter.
Yeah.
I can't remember what one of them was. What's the score at halftime right now?
Like 48-47.
Okay, well, then the chat I think there had picked. They may have picked the Pacers plus whatever the first half was, so that would have won.
Mm-hmm.
Or is Oklahoma State? Why not call them Oklahoma State? Oklahoma City? Are they winning or are the Pacers winning?
Pacers are winning.
Oh shit!
Pacers by
And that damn player that was that Halliburton.
Halliburton,
he got hurt, right?
He's had issues with his hamstring, not his hamstring, his calf. And a lot of times when you have issues with your calf, your Achilles is fixing to go. So he's still out there running. Give the kid credit for that. But he made just a cut, like a regular basketball cut, and just hit the floor. And as soon as he hit the floor, they were basically.
What college is he from?
Iowa State.
I was about to say I never heard of him until just recently. Brandon Coon says Uncle Lou picked Gamecocks go 9-3 with losses to LSU, Ole Miss, and Texas. I think that's very generous. Very generous. Too generous.
Generous in which way, Jackpot? I mean, you think that
both ways. I mean, record. Well, I mean, both ways. I mean, record wise and win loss. Win loss wise. A couple more. I'm about to drop my prediction. I'm about ready to come with one, but there's a couple more in there. So I feel like You
think there's a couple more wins or a couple more losses?
Well, now what do you think?
I'm just asking, brother. Look,
I'm not.
I have sat here and I've heard Gamecock fans talking about Rob, you're a dipshit because Shane Beamer's got all these guys and he's going to develop all these guys and that defense isn't going to miss a beat.
Well, first
That's what I've heard.
All right, we got a great quarterback. They've got a great quarterback. No lie.
I agree with you.
But here's the thing, like Nick Harbour was on some podcast talking to some guy. They were showing pictures of him jumping out of a fucking window, catching a Frisbee or something. I don't know what it was. And he talked about all this work he's been putting in the off season. He's learned. It was I don't know who it was who was interviewing him. It was, I don't know. It was on a podcast. But he said, I know how to run all the route trees now. And I'm thinking, okay, well, you're a junior. That's good. We know how to do freshman stuff. But until I see him do all these fucking things, I'm not gonna be satisfied. I got to see it.
And then, isn't it exactly? But when I said that last week, people were losing their shit. I'm just in the camp of I think that Harbour he is a freak athlete, absolute freak athlete. But you know what? He hasn't put it together on the field yet. So how can you put it together and say, hey?
We've seen some flashes. I've seen some flashes of stuff, here and there. But, we gotta see a sustained run there. And plus with Sellers, we talk about I think they're going to he's not going to be just a runner next year. I think he's going to be able to throw the ball around a little bit, and I think he's got to step up. Harbour's got to step up. And I heard there's an ex-NFL wide receiver somewhere on another podcast talking about him, and I can't remember who this was either. But, he was right. He told the cold hard facts. Somebody said, well, no, in the video game, he was like, I don't care about a video game. He said, until I see things from him like physicality at the line of scrimmage, dip your hips, swivel. He's like, he's got to be able to be more physical than these defensive backs that he's going up against. He's like, that's what I want to see. He's like, and so far, he's like, I haven't seen it. He's like, all I've heard is a bunch of talk about a video game.
And that's fair, and that's kind of where I'm at. And I know the other thing too, and I've said this and I stand behind this too. You've got a great quarterback. I don't know who your running back's going to be, and I don't know who he's going to throw the ball to. I know guys will tell me Harbor and Mazio Bennett, and that's fine, but I mean, they're going to have to take big jumps.
Mazio Bennett and Brown, they're good players. I mean, they've got to stay healthy all year, though. That's another thing. That's the thing. And then the freshmen, those kids, they say they've done great in spring, and that we'll see. Playing the SEC is different than playing in the underwear in spring.
Billy says, as big as he is, Harbor should be steamrolling defensive backs. Yes, sir. You're exactly right. Physically, he should be drawing a double team every time. Every time. He is bigger, stronger, and faster. I looked this up the other day than Alshon Jeffrey was. And I think Alshon Jeffrey is an all-time great as far as South Carolina wide receivers. As far as in the gym, the numbers, the being the big guy, etc., he's bigger, stronger, and faster than Alshon Jeffrey. But for some reason, when he crosses that line and goes out onto the field, he plays like he's not. So there's that.
He's got a body like Alshon Jeffrey, and his game is like Louise Jefferson.
Yeah,
I was looking for somebody with a last name Jeffrey, but you get my point. We got
that's what you got. And if you're being fair, he has been a disappointment compared to what we thought he was going to be. He's been a disappointment. And I know Gamecock fans don't like hearing that, but he has, which makes still I question the whole thing about who is Sellers going to throw the ball to, and protection has to be important too. You've got talent on that offensive line. You do. There's no doubt about that. But treated Babaloa as like a 5-star guy that was wanted by everybody. The question is can you protect? And I don't know yet. And that's why it's hard for me to sit here and say, oh, the Gamecocks are going 10-2 or whatever. Because just from the losses on defense, who you're throwing the ball to, who's running the ball, and how good your protection is going to be.
That's a concern for me. This running back thing is a concern. This situation with this transfer thing is crazy. And then I was looking at some stats on this guy that we got from Colorado. He, in terms of transfer portal, like running backs, dude, he was like the number 92 running back in the transfer portal. Now, a lot of that could be because Prime didn't run the damn ball because he couldn't, because his offensive line was shit. Well, and he also wanted to pad his son's statistics. So that's why he might be ranked so low, because he hasn't had enough repetitions to garner a higher, to be able to have the chance to move up that chart. You know what I'm saying? He's a sophomore. He was a 4-star coming out of high school in Naples, Florida, down there where the rich people live.
I'm in the camp that he is an insurance policy in case the other young man doesn't get in.
Oh, definitely is.
If not, then he's there as an extra body for practice. Because there's no tape on this kid. There really isn't. He just hasn't played.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But on the other front, Clemson lost, Henderson this week.
Yeah, they kicked his ass off the team.
Right.
I heard that he was a problem.
Well, it's all about what you've heard from one end to the other about, okay, maybe he hasn't been the best as far as, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a good way to put it. But there was some behavior that he had, from what I've been told and read, that wasn't exactly what they expected from him. And now he's gone. Of course, he's from Belton Honeypath, never played a snap for them. But that's one of those players that he was so gifted, right? You wonder if it's going to end up like Who was the young man that ended up at Tennessee that was supposed to be at South Carolina? It was something like that. I wonder.
Bryce
Yeah.
Thompson.
Yeah, the kid that ended up playing at Tennessee was supposed to be at South Carolina, but I wonder if that's what's going to happen with this guy. But that on that front though, he's supposed to be a running back that could do some stuff for them, and they're still worried.
I mean, I don't know. Whatever was wrong with him up there, whatever he did, must have been halfway serious because he's only been there since December.
Yeah.
Right? Or was he an early enrollee?
Yeah, I think so.
See, that's another thing. Here's another thing that gets me. You have all these early enrollees in these colleges. So some kid that gets up there that acts a fucking fool and gets kicked off the damn team. Okay, so just hear me out. To me, that reflects a very low level of intelligence. Okay, I mean, I don't see anyone. I don't see how someone will be able to graduate high school a semester early and have enough to get out and then you get into college and you're acting like such an asshole that you get booted off the team before you've only been on it 6 months. I don't know. Something just doesn't correlate, which is why I'm telling you, there's something going on with some of these high schools and money and NIL too. I think they may be paying some of these educators under the table to fuck with transcripts and this and that to get these guys like especially the ones that reclassify a year and all that. I kept like close to a 3.0 average in high school, and I wasn't graduating early. There was no way I could. I mean, it wasn't even an option.
I'm with you. I don't understand how these kids can graduate in December and then, oh, wow, now they're a college student.
There was one that reclassified from the 2027 class to the 2026 class, and I read him. He's probably like 16. They did an interview with him, and he said something to the effect of I really didn't need the extra year of high school. What
the fuck are you talking about?
You're not taking English 4. I mean, I thought these were requirements. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know how that works, man. Jarrett, welcome to the program, sir.
What's going on, man?
What you got for the show this evening, sir?
I was curious. What do you think the game for Texas and Ohio State is going to look like? Because both quarterbacks basically the experience level for the Ohio State quarterback is going to be, untested. And what's his name?
Come down. Come on. Double ball. Pull up the bug. We can go to the water park again later.
Hey, now, calm down.
Yeah, go ahead and finish your thought there, Jared. My son and I have conversations on the fly. But anyway.
It's okay.
Yeah, but you were talking about the quarterback situation at both schools and all that. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. Ohio State has another 5-star guy on top of a 5-star guy. I don't. As far as talent goes, I'm not worried about Ohio State. I'm just not.
I'm saying it's unproven because they ain't started. And
isn't Texas like? I mean, Texas is starting Manning, right?
But he's played some games.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did start a few games this past year.
Well,
4 or
5. Walk It Off Sports with a super chat. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Keep the
Thank
old
you very
channel
much.
moving
Cheers
here.
to you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I'm not trying to blow you off there, but I don't think that that we're gonna have any issues as far as talent going with either team there. So
yeah, I agree.
Welcome home, Heifer. Anyway, I don't think there's any issue there.
Yeah, I agree because Sarkeesian's always good, and Ohio State's always good with talent. I was just thinking about the experience level at quarterback for Ohio State.
Look, I'm more interested. I'm more interested in like that game. That'll be a highly watched game because people think that that's like a possibly we'll see that game 2 times next year with the with the playoffs or whatever. But and I'm not just saying it for this show. I'm more interested in the South Carolina Virginia Tech game simply because Virginia Tech's coach, I think, is like, he's trying to lay into these guys, hey, this has to be our transition year where we go from being, a shithole to actually being a viable football program again. And if we can get a win over an SEC opponent in the first game of the season on a neutral site, that's a hell of a stamp to start your season. Whereas South Carolina's hoping to shake off the loss to Illinois in their bowl game. And, hey, what are we going to do with our new offensive coordinator? Are we more than just Lenora Sellers? The questions with the defense. I mean, these are better storylines for games than the stuff with Ohio State and Texas for me. And LSU and Clemson. I mean, can LSU, their highly thought of team, can they come back and win their first opener since 2019? And Clemson needs this win to jump their season off.
One would
in the front. So
one would say this is probably the toughest game they've had since they started that string of losses, wouldn't you think? I mean, a game at Clemson. I mean, the Florida State games; those teams were pretty good, but those were neutral site games.
They lost to Southern Cal last year, right?
That was a neutral site. Yeah, that was in Vegas.
Yeah,
Right,
that was Vegas. Yeah.
I forget where they played. Florida State at. I think one was
fair enough. Peckerhead says, "Isn't Virginia Tech not trying to shake off a bowl game loss to Minnesota?" Yes, I know. I have to blow the Gamecocks to the 18th level to appease Peckerhead here. Okay, I said nice things about your school. Why can't you just roll with that, sir? All I said was your game is more interesting to me than fucking Texas and goddamn who
Texas playing San Jose, I think.
I'm sorry. Ohio State and whoever.
Ohio State plays Texas. Why did I forget that? I'm sorry. Texas, second week they play San Jose.
Yeah.
That might be a little bit of that's a game that I think could be a little bit closer than one might expect there. San Jose is a pretty good team. Rob, you know who their coach is, right?
Who's the coach of San Jose State? Enlighten me, Jack.
Ken Niumatalolo that was at Navy.
Are they running the option jackpot?
No, they're not running the option. They're throwing the ball for like 500 yards a damn game, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
So,
I don't know about all that, but all right.
So I was talking to Lou about the head coach or the offensive coordinator for South Carolina. I was saying I was concerned because he's only coached at Auburn with Cam Newton, and I thought that he was riding on Cam Newton's coattail.
Don't say that. He's supposed to be the second coming of God. He is literally going to be like, I don't know, insert your best offensive coordinator in the history of offensive coordinators. That's who he's going to be.
Yeah, but Lou was like, give me a reason why. I was like,
Art Briles.
He said, give me a reason why he's going to be terrible. And I was trying to give him a reason, but he's been in the NFL for like a while, and he finally comes back to college. I don't know when. It's like I'm not sure.
Can you name the last offensive coordinator that came back? Was in college, went to the pros, and then came back as an O coordinator and was good. I'm trying to remember, and I'm not being a smartass. I'm trying to remember the last one that actually made that transition and was really good. I mean, if you have one, that please enlighten me in the chat. Whatever. I think that's one of the bigger questions for South Carolina because I think he's been in the NFL, and if you look at the jobs that he's had, he was at Buffalo. as like an offensive analyst at Buffalo. Well, the reason he was hired as an analyst at Buffalo because he had coached with some of those other guys before. So, all right, Jared, I got to let you go because I got a special guest, man. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Later.
Peckerhead says Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, but he was at Alabama. But that is a good one. Welcome to the show, Peg and Megan. How are you, sir?
Hey.
Yeah, this is a former college football fan.
Oh, Jesus. Peg and Megan, can I share what sports you're into now, Peg and Megan? Is that all right?
Please do, Rob.
Peg and Megan likes these redneck brawls where they go and get two hillbillies and put them in a fake boxing ring in a fucking like a field house in West Virginia, and they beat the fuck out of each other. That's what Peg and Megan likes to watch now.
Like one of the old tough man contests?
No, it's called like Redneck Brawl, I think is the name of it. That's what Peg and Megan likes to watch now.
Yeah, it reminds me of a Sanders family reunion, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
So jackpot. I don't really get into college football these days much, but I do. There's one thing I am looking forward to this fall. Jackpot. How about that potential Stockton to Oscar Delp connection in Athens this year? Does that turn you on, Jackpot?
Yeah, that turns me on about it like I'm masturbating with a porcupine.
I can just see your eyes light up every time those two connect all fall.
Absolutely.
No, I do struggle getting into college ball just with all the BS that's happened. I find it sickening, but apparently I'm in the minority here. I get it, so I'm gonna stick to my redneck brawls this fall, I think.
Well, I think everybody's like pretty much fed up with it, but it's like I don't know. We still enjoy college football so much. We still just are like, I'll just deal with it, you know.
Yeah, you get. I don't know. You get kicked so many times when you're just kind of like, you know what, that's it. So I'm sort of out the door, but I figured I'd stop in and say hey to you guys.
Well, it's good for you to stop in and say hello. Are you going to watch any college football this fall at all? Or are you just completely out?
Rob, I honestly have no appetite. For me, they've just ruined it. They just have. I hate to be Debbie Downer here, but that's just the case. I'm out.
Well, that's sad. But hey, Peg and Megan doing his thing. At least now, maybe you can be our Redneck Brawl correspondent.
Yeah,
sir.
I mean, there's always that's an untapped market, honestly.
Yeah, I've got big plans in that arena, so I'll be
a cross between between UFC and I don't know,
brother. I'm not exaggerating. It was in my Facebook feed this morning. It's funny. Peg and Megan calls today, but they had like these two dudes fighting. One of them had he had like the pure snaggletooth thing going. And he looked terrible. And this other guy, they look like crackhead rejects. And they're brawling. And then the next fight that comes up, I look up and it's these two women fighting, and they beat the shit out of each other. It was like, why am I watching this? But you just can't turn away. You're like, what the hell is going on here?
Can any of them actually fight?
No, none of them can really fight. But but you're watching because, fuck. Tell them why you watch Peg and Megan. I don't know. It's a train wreck.
It's a beautiful thing, and if at the end of the day, if you can't watch that and stand up and salute the stars and bars, I don't know what'll make you do it. That is pure American. I love it. And the best thing about it, no transfer portal, guys.
Yeah, because they don't transfer to anywhere. They just go to either fucking jail or somewhere else. These people are. It's like you wouldn't be hanging out with any of these people in public. You're like, what the hell am I doing here? But like, I expect Peg and Megan to be showing up with whoever the Redneck Brawl champion is. And the one woman was doing a quote saying I'm gonna knock out your meat box. I remember her saying that like 3 times.
Oh yeah. I
You
know who
gotta
you're
meet me
talking
at the
about.
Johnson City, whatever, and I'm gonna knock out your meat box.
Yeah,
Meat
the
box.
yeah the places that they have these events make Knoxville look like Beverly Hills. By the way,
Johnson City.
Brother, I'm not joking. I'm not jackpot. I'm not joking. Go and look up Redneck Brawl at some point. I think we can play the promo without getting in trouble. Let's see if I can find the promo because it is definitely funny as it is really funny. And then you're like, what are these people doing? I mean, it's a mess. But hold on, let's see if I can find it here. Redneck Brawl. Let's see if I can find. See if I can find like the promo of the woman that was losing her shit because it was like,
I sent you something too. Maybe you can show on there in a little bit. That's
yeah, I will.
I think would be a great marketing tool.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm thinking about seeing if I can turn it into a T-shirt.
oh yeah,
Uh,
speaking of this Redneck Brawl, you talk about stingers and sound bites for your show. Oh my God, it's a gold mine.
all right, jackpot. We're gonna. I'm gonna play this clip here. Peg and Megan, if you want to hang out, it's only like a minute long, but you've got to see this this woman losing her shit here. All right, so there's the one guy. Hold on, let's see if I can. Yeah, I want to go down to the one where. All right, see, they're all fighting. Yes, but I want to play the clip from this woman.
Are you looking for the meat box clip?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for is a meat box clip because she just keeps yelling it over and over and over. Like, what the hell is going on here?
I'll recognize it if I see it.
Yeah, well, it says on her shirt, "Knock out your meat box." So it's
What
like,
the hell?
yeah, hold on, it's here, Jackpot. Give me a second here. Oh, the ring girls are top notch too.
Oh wow!
Oh, there she is. There's
Yep,
Peg and
that's
Megan's date for the prom.
Yes,
Right
look at
there.
it-
All right, here we
look at
go.
this-
Let's see. I'm gonna play
look at
this.
the
Finally,
beautiful-
in the backyard of Virginia. Virginia's finally starting to get a little bit of recognition. And Wise is here to represent. We're going to show up. We're going to show the fuck out. Win, lose, or draw. I'm going to rock your meat box, and we're going to redneck brawl. Come on, bitches. I'm ready for the Hillbilly Showdown. You got to show me what you got. And any of you bitches that want it, you can come and fucking get it. You can meet me in Johnson City at the Freedom Hall Civic Center on August the 16th. And you best be prepared because I'm finna rock your motherfucking meat box.
That's a legitimate. That's a real place.
Hi, Daddy.
That's
Hi, Daddy.
Hi. That's
That's
a real
where,
place.
Jim Cornette spoke at the Freedom Hall. So.
Yeah,
She's
that-
gonna
that
rock
right-
your meat box, Kale.
that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why we stormed the beaches of Normandy. Right there.
Oh, I can't motherfucking meat box.
What an absolute mess.
Thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'll let you have it. See you.
Thank you, Peg and Megan. Let's see here. All right, so Jackpot sent me. Oh, I gotta show this. Jackpot sent me this. We gotta bring this up too. All right, so I'm putting this together, Jackpot. But anyway, would you go to a Redneck Brawl, Jackpot?
Oh, sure.
We
Absolutely.
if they have them here, we're gonna go. We're gonna get me and you and Dennis Wilson, and we're all gonna go. We're all gonna go together.
That sounds like a hell of a time.
That's gonna be some shit. That would be again. Harrison says play it again. Hold on,
I'm gonna rock your motherfucking meat box.
yeah, hold on. I don't want to. I don't. She's just talking, so we can't be getting too far.
What is that? Oh, was that on YouTube or was that
That's from Facebook. Hold on, I'm gonna play it again.
Okay.
Somebody asked me to play it again.
I'm gonna look this up on YouTube too because
Yeah. All right, hold
this
on.
one
Welcome
tap
to the show.
venture. I think that
Rock your meat box.
So, Peckerhead, you have to calm down while we play the
Yeah.
rock your meat box.
No,
thing
I
again.
think the people deserve to hear it at least one more time
I
because
mean,
we
she.
kind of got the beginning cut off.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
don't. Yeah, make
All
sure
right,
like
well-
you when you pull
Oh,
it
hold
up,
on,
make
let's
sure
see
it's
here. All right, so there. All right, there you go.
Johnson City, Tennessee. And shit, that's right in my backyard, y'all. Ain't but like a hop and a skip away. And finally, in the backyard of Virginia, Virginia's finally starting to get a little bit of recognition. And Wise is here to represent. We're going to show up. We're going to show the fuck out. Win, lose, or draw. I'm going to rock your meat box, and we're going to Redneck Brawl. Come on, bitches. I'm ready for the Hillbilly Showdown. You got to show me what you got. And any of you bitches that want it, you can come and fucking get it. You can meet me in Johnson City at the Freedom Hall Civic Center on August the 16th. And you best be prepared because I'm finna rock your motherfucking meat box.
I'm finna.
Hey, that's definitely a Walmart parking lot. Did
Is
y'all
that
notice that?
is that this year?
That's this year, August the 16th, sir.
August 16th? Oh, they playing the. You think they're doing a training camp?
Like how many?
There's the picture Jackpot sent me. If you don't snack on
Damn
us,
straight.
then
Honey,
that
that's a
should
damn
be.
good movie.
We should have made that the thumb, Jackpot.
Yeah, that
What
should have
the
been
hell
the
are we
thumbnail.
talking about?
That would've been
I'm
awesome.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
or either or maybe like a big banner for my wall.
Ron, you know, I haven't seen you have some Utz in a long time, Ron. What's the deal with that? Are you a ladies guy? Are you a simple man, a casual to the potato chip game?
Brother, I'm gonna support Jackpot and his Utz chips to the end of time.
Yeah.
I look like I give a
Utz
shit.
or nothing. It's got to be Utz. Hey, but I came with some news that y'all might not have heard. I know Kale heard because I told him. But Rob, you might not know this. Did you know Jalewis Solomon got his track hawk stolen yesterday?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was his vehicle. You sent a picture of the old black thing with a.
Yeah. Well, those. Let me just confirm. Those cars. Yeah, that's $100,000 car.
Jeez. Fuck is he driving that for? Hell, he ain't even done anything.
Jalewis Solomon. That's $100,000 car. Starting, and that's for the 2021 model year. It was probably
He's
a brand new
the
one.
kid that they flipped from Auburn last year, I think,
Yep.
and the Auburn. It was down to us inside Auburn. He chose Auburn, and I got fucking mad about that. It was a couple of years ago. Then he flipped to Carolina. He was there last year, but he really didn't do anything.
No, we did.
But I saw that car and I was like, "What the hell is that? An Iowa Hawkeye?"
Yeah, those are like, so it's a Dodge Durango, but they put like a souped up engine in it, and it like let me check the horsepower. They're basically like, you know, Hellcats. They're
Yeah.
like SUV Hellcats. Yeah, it's got 707 horsepower.
Look,
Jesus.
I give you, and this is a player at South Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Solomon's at South Carolina, yeah. Like these kids getting these cars that are tricked out and everything else. I mean, if they're parking their cars at the football facility down there, it's not exactly the best part of town. And I'm not being a
Well, it was in
dickhead about it, but-
Timminsville. Yeah, it was in
Tim.
Timminsville.
Oh, well, shit. This is in Timminsville. My bad.
Yeah, I guess he had went back home or something, or I don't know what he was doing, but
Well, he's
yeah,
not
it's
from
just not-
Timminsville.
it's
He's
not-
from somewhere in Georgia.
yes. Then I don't know what he was doing, but that's where he posted like a
He's out there
screenshot.
getting some strange.
What's that?
He's out there getting some strange out in the country. Timminsville's off the beaten path.
He might have
son.
been hanging out with Leggett. Is that from our?
Harry
Hey, he's from
Paratestes,
Mullins.
very good, sir, says, see, kids that can literally can't fucking read are driving cars worth 100,000. They have ruined the sport.
I'm not.
I mean, you're looking
Well,
for me to
argument
argue
made.
The
against
thing
that.
is, I don't know if they actually get to keep these cars out of college. I haven't actually read into the details of any of these car NIL deals, but like I know for a fact, Juice Wells didn't get to keep because he got a track hawk too. I know that.
No,
motherfucker-
like,
Oh, no.
I know that like Spencer Rattler had like a deal with Jim Hudson,
Yeah,
and he got paid, but he got a car, but it was, you know, he got to drive it around while he was here, and then when he left, he had to give the car back.
yeah. So it's probably like that for everywhere. I imagine. Look at
Yeah,
that
I mean,
mouth
that's-
there. By the way,
That's a good looking dog. Look at
Army
Ziggy
3275 says he's getting that meat box with that track hawk.
getting that
Could be.
meat box.
could be who. By the way, Who the hell made that? Who produced that shirt? Is there no quality control in America anymore? How did they let that get through the line anywhere? I'm gonna.
Oh, you can get anything.
All right, Jackpot. I'm gonna play a clip of one of these fights here. It's only about a 60-second clip. You got to see this, just this fight here, because I don't think it's summertime. If we're gonna get something that I don't think we get a YouTube strike out of this, but here you go.
Food hard.
Oh, Pookie come out with it. Baked beans took a little.
Gotta watch that head.
Little time. Oh, bro, he is smoking the dome.
Not no damage.
No, it's doing 0 damage right now.
Yeah.
That
was Daniel Gregory. That was Daniel Gregory. Rewind that.
Here comes Pookie.
That's a big woman there.
She'll wear herself out punching like
she's got tennis shorts on.
Yes.
You don't never have to wonder about that girl loving you, though.
Oh,
She
shoot.
does, baby.
That is Daniel
Gotta
Gregory.
pick that head up.
You got to pick her head up.
There you go. We can cut the commentary. That might help us a little bit too. But anyway, they're standing in the ring, and this is them fighting.
Has she got on a black drawers?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you know there's shit man in those
Peg and
drawers.
Megan sent me this and said this
man.
makes him moist. That's what Peg and Megan said. I don't know, but whatever, man. It's what you like.
She looks like it's like the black female version of Rikishi. Did you see her giving the stink face?
Of course she did. Oh, and Pookie beat Baked Beans there. That was the name of that fight. That's her name. Was
you
her
think
name-
I'd get
her
in
name
trouble
was
if I went to one of
Baked
these? If I went to one of these events and I live streamed it with my phone?
Oh yeah, you catch hell.
Hey, another.
You don't think I'd get a lot of viewers on it?
Nah.
Oh, you get a shit ton of
Probably
viewers.
You get viewers, but they probably take it down.
They'll probably take it down.
Get you
But
straight.
Why?
Brock says.
I don't know.
Brock made
Yeah,
up
if I
the
was
comment
there,
of the night.
if
Please
I attended
read
it,
that
no.
comment, Peckerhead.
She's huge. Those aren't shorts. They're prison pants. Goodness.
There were Tennessee colors, so I think she's on the Vols.
Jesus God, man.
Who was that wrestler that in WWE? She sang the what's that girl's name? She sang Rocky Top a couple of weeks ago.
Lillian Garcia?
But Bianca Belair is.
Bianca Belair, yeah.
I guess she's from Knoxville, and they were at the Thompson Bowling Arena.
Yeah.
For SmackDown, and she sang Rocky Top, and I'm like, okay.
Well, did y'all see? That fucking Rocket. How do they allow that shit? First and foremost. By the way, let me say this. What a hound.
Yeah.
What
Eddie
a
says
hound.
that's a good-looking dog. Yeah, I am a good-looking dog, ain't I? I'm a good-looking dog.
What a hound. That has to be addressed. But I wanted to also, I came with a little more news. Did y'all see that South Carolina has followed Clemson and that they raised, apparently students are going to be paying like $500 to support all the athletic teams now?
I have serious issues with that.
Yeah, it's going to be. I didn't read much into it. It said they were following Clemson. I don't know if South Carolina's is higher, but I agree with you. I think the fact that most of this money is probably going to go to NIL if we're being realistic. It's going to go to that straight to that NIL.
I have a serious issue with, and then here's the thing too, and I know how it works at South Carolina with student tickets. It's basically you're put into a lottery to get them because, there's 100,000 students down there. You only have an 80,000 seat stadium. They only allow I think it's 15,000 student tickets, I think was the number. So you have to get into a lottery. Yeah, you have to get in a lottery to get them, but you're not guaranteed to be able to go to
the games you want,
any games that you really want to go to. And let's just be honest, the students are the fans that you want in the stands. They're the ones that are the youngest. They're going to raise the most hell and make that place more intimidating, but they do things to limit them so you can have 65-year-old motherfuckers there on the 50-yard line. I had these tickets for 30 years. Whatever.
Yeah, and
Shit
that's
bugs
well,
me,
you
man.
know, I think it's so Clemson did the same thing, and it was frustrating
yeah.
because the
It's
only
not,
game I
and
wanted
it's
to
not
go
just
to,
South
obviously,
Carolina. It's everywhere, man. It's
exactly.
Just,
I was gonna say the only game I would want to go to is clearly the South Carolina game, and you know I'd get stuck with fucking Boston College or some other bullshit, and
Right.
you know, and if I don't know how much I paid into it. I didn't see that itemized receipt on how much I paid into Clemson athletics
well,
in my
I'm sure
tenure.
you'll see it eventually.
But you know, for the Carolina student to be paying $500, they should have the fucking choice of the
It's
litter.
$500 extra, isn't it? It's $500
Yeah,
extra.
$500
yeah.
extra.
Yeah, because they already pay the student. It's called a student activities.
Or no,
fee.
it's nearly. So it says nearly 500. So that they're raising up whatever the existing fee is to nearly. It says nearly 500. So it's probably like $499.99.
It's a mess.
It's yeah, I agree. And the thing is, it's going straight to the NIL, you know. But I think the solution is you just start cutting sports and turning them into clubs. Why put the burden on the student, you know, when you could just cut the funding for these lesser sports, turn them into clubs?
Well, because you can't. Well, all right, you can cut all the men's sports you want, but Title IX is a federal law. You have to have the same amount of women's scholarships as men's scholarships. So
Yeah,
you're going to have all of that. And I know that
I'd say you just
people
do
don't wanna
one and
hear that,
one. You just do a men's team, a women's team, a men's team, a women's team.
But you have, what is it, 85 scholarships for football?
Yeah.
So you got to fill those 85 before you can do the one and done. You know,
Yeah.
the one and one for basketball or whatever.
That's
So, I mean,
well,
you
yeah,
have the
yeah,
85
accounting for
up
that.
front. So
Yeah, accounting for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just think that I would much rather see these sports that, I mean, generally people care about be turned into clubs. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can still get financial assistance from being on the club teams, can't you? Am I just making that up?
Well, if we're doing it, if we're talking about just the economics of it, the only sport that at most schools that draws any money is football. I mean, you know, I hate to use Don Staley's team as an example, but they're in the red every year. And they're one of the best teams in the country. I mean, there are two women's teams that actually finish in the black as far as money goes, and that's Iowa and Connecticut. Everyone else is operating at a loss. So
I bet Iowa's operating at a loss now.
All right, so keep in mind this thing has
figures
not
from
reliable, but
there.
Google does say some individual club teams may offer scholarships independently.
Right.
So take that with a grain of salt. It's been wrong in the past, but I think that would be a much better solution because you don't gotta. I think with the clubs, it's all generated from.
Which sports are you talking about? I mean, I want to.
Well, you know,
I'm
I
not
can
saying
go
your
on
idea
right.
is
So
shit. I'm just saying, which sports are you talking about? Are you talking about gymnastics? What are we going with here?
Well, Clemson women's rowing first and foremost.
They have the women's rowing team to try
gone.
to eat into that 85 with the for the scholarships for football. So any women's sport until you get to the 85, you know,
men's sports. I don't think any lacrosse team needs to be a real team. It could be a club. Lacrosse across the board should just be club. All literally field hockey. I mean, field hockey. Anything that draws less than, let's say, 500 fans. I'll even bump it lower. Less than 150 fans should be axed. And if it has to be, you know, more men's sports than women, sure. I'm sure there's more men's sports where, like, I mean, tennis.
Well,
who the hell's going to tennis?
I'm with. I get where you're coming from on that, but I have to come back down to the federal law first. You've got to have these women's sports to offset the 85 football scholarships. It's just
Jerry
they
Wells.
change the law.
You see, Jerry, the spirit of college sports also isn't every student pays $500 extra on top of the $25,000 they're paying to go to school just so you can pass out NIL.
I just think it sucks because it takes away the ability in a lot of cases. If they get rid of a lot of these programs, it's going to take away the ability for a lot of these kids who want to play tennis or fucking rowing or whatever to hone their skill. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is,
Sucks.
I am of the opinion that so with tennis, that's a sport that people go pro early in.
Is it? Is this just the dollars and cents things to you? And I'm not mocking. I'm just asking.
I think it's off. I would rather offset the cost of the new NIL payment by cutting the sports rather than every single student now has to pay $500 extra on top of their $25K.
But I still think that they would come back to it and say, look, we're going to get that $500 anyway for you to come into the stadium. I mean, that's just for – I honestly believe that. And I believe that the lion's share of that money is going to go to the football program.
Well, you know what? It's getting to the point where they're going to price out – they already have priced out the common fan. I mean, your average fan can afford to go to, if they're lucky, 2 games a year. The tickets are $100.
Yeah, they're $100 face value for conference games.
Yeah, and that's nosebleeds.
That's in the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
You're sitting at the top of the stadium.
And all it is they're wanting to spend more money and then also cater to these rich fans. These rich fans aren't always going to be there. I mean, you're seeing the same thing in the NFL. The NFL has lost its culture because they priced out the common fan. Now it's all just corporate bullshit. And they're starting to do the same thing at South Carolina, and they're starting to tax their fucking students when all they could do is just start, making better financial decisions. I mean, how many departments are at these colleges are fucking just tanking money when bullshit degrees? I mean, just taxing degrees.
Everybody's renovating the stadium, putting in these fucking luxury boxes and shit. The fucking luxury box is a regular seat now.
I'm telling you.
I can make an argument that you could spend less money and go on the road and see Clemson play than you could for a home matchup. And I'll give you a perfect example. Right now, on ESPN's page, you can get a ticket for the Boston College game for $38 right now at Boston College on October the 11th. If you wanted to go to that game, you could go for, it says tickets as low as $38. I bet if you went around the stadium, you could get it even cheaper. You could fly up there and fly back on the same day from Columbia and probably spend less than $300 for the whole thing. But if you're going to Death Valley and you're going to buy your tickets and your parking pass and all that, you're dropping a shit ton.
Hey, you ready to hear? You ready to hear insanity, Rob? Listen, I'm gonna list the prices. I'm on Game Time. It's generally the cheapest app that I've found. Yeah. All right, listen to these prices. South Carolina at Virginia Tech, $117. South Carolina State versus South Carolina, $54 minimum. Vanderbilt at South Carolina, $96 minimum. South Carolina at Mizzou, $99 minimum. Kentucky at South Carolina, $93 minimum. South Carolina at LSU. This seems a little bit low, $97. I can respect that from LSU. They're not price gouging there. If that's at Columbia, that game's going to be $150.
I'm there.
Yeah. You want to know why that's going to be $150? Because Oklahoma at South Carolina is $163 minimum. Alabama at South Carolina, $231 minimum. South Carolina at Ole Miss, $110. South Carolina at Texas A&M, $125. Coastal at South Carolina, $54. Clemson at South Carolina, $192.
So Alabama's more expensive than damn.
Who can afford that? And there's no change in the other way. All it is, the rebuild they're doing in South Carolina is catering to the same rich fans.
Right. The first set at Williams-Brice was for like a walk where like the Gamecock players walk through and you're able to stand there behind hockey glass, I think was was what I read or whatever.
Yeah.
And just to be able to get those seats, you have to be like an upper tier member in the Gamecock Club. And I'm not knocking them for trying to make money. Everybody has to do it. But for the average person, you're never going to, that's like a once in a lifetime experience.
You go with your family.
A lot of guys just aren't going to get.
Exactly. You go with your family. That's a $500 adventure. Adventure. It's ridiculous.
That's the low end, brother.
That's what I'm saying. If you go with 4 just to get in the door, it's $500. Then you're spending.
That's not counting your parking spot.
Yes.
You'll drop at least a Benjamin on that.
That's why I prefer to stay here and make money watching football games.
It is insane what they're doing, and it's just snuck up and snuck up and snuck up until it's reached this point. 5 years ago, you could afford to go to Carolina games. You could afford to probably go to Clemson games. They were probably still expensive, maybe $70. But it's just going to keep getting higher and higher. Shit, are we going to be looking back in 5 years and be thinking $200 for nosebleeds is cheap now? Is this just what we're doing so that fucking Jalewis Solomon can get a jackpot?
Right. I don't know, brother.
It don't make sense. But,
it doesn't make any sense, and I think the students are catching the back end of it too.
Yeah.
And it's not just at South Carolina and Clemson, but it's everywhere.
Exactly. And like I said, start axing these bullshit programs. How many professors they got paying $250K to teach lesbian dance theory or some bullshit?
Well,
underwater basket weaving, whatever the hell.
That's fine, but your intercollegiate sports, if it really came down to dollars and cents, like there'd be a lot of baseball teams that would go away, swimming and diving would go away, and it would hit on the men's side first, and then, because of the federal law. Yeah. But I get what you're saying, but there are other things that they could do that they don't. I'm all about. They do it in the NBA. Like, if you watch an NBA game, LeBron James is on the free throw line. He's got a freaking PayPal sticker on his jersey. They want to make money. Have the advertising on the jerseys, and the university gets that money. That's a.
You know what could be a good idea?
What?
Just put your Venmo QR code on your helmet, and when you make a nice play, fan will send you $1.
Who was it last year that had the NIL QR code on the back of the helmets?
Yeah, do something like that.
Was that Oklahoma State that was doing that? Pretty sure it
Billy
was.
says cutting the football rosters down. Yeah.
You could do that too, but take more walk-ons. I don't think the football is a money maker though. I don't know why you would need to cut the football roster when that's your money maker. I feel like there's probably teams you're sinking. That Clemson rowing team, they just built brand new facilities. They probably sunk a couple million in.
Right. Well,
I'm just using that as an example because that's a
perfect example. But I also know that there are other programs that are a drag on. I'll use Boston College baseball as an example. They had, I think I looked at it, like 7 home games this season where they drew, according to the school, 30 fans or less. 30. What? Yeah. These are ACC games that they drew 30 fans or less.
Where was that?
7 games.
Well, and I was the one saying they need to start cutting baseball teams. I said that a couple weeks ago.
Think about that, though. I used to umpire softball a long time ago, and we'd have 30 to 40 people in the stands for that shit for church league.
Yeah, high school. My 3A high school probably got about 60 to 70 per game.
But I'm just saying when it
30 people.
30,
yeah, that's ridiculous.
I'm not there, but I'm just saying you look at what the school, the attendance, 30, 32, 35. Harrison says ACC LLL joke. Sir, this is across the country. It's not just in the ACC. There are there are programs in the SEC that don't sell out every game. And I hate to break this to hurt your feelings too, but gymnastics outdraws baseball, college baseball across the country. So put that in your pipe and smoke it too.
That's crazy.
We're going on Peckerhead's theory of cutting what's drawing.
Hey, cut swimming, cut diving, cut all that shit. Get it out of archery. We don't need that. Get it all
So
out.
you don't. What you're saying is you don't like the Olympics.
Combine swimming and diving into the same sport? I mean,
well, exactly. They could do the same shit. It's the same thing. That's a good point, Cal. You know, I wanted to mention two more things. I know we
could actually combine the swimming, the diving, and the bass fishing.
And water polo.
Instead of doing the swimming and diving inside, do it at the lake. Yeah.
College hockey doesn't need to be. Well, we can keep college hockey because the fights are badass. I like hockey. But I used to love
hockey's
the
a club sport for South Carolina and Clemson here. I mean,
yeah, I know. They play every year. It's like I see the highlights. South Carolina's been whooping y'all's ass in that.
Yep.
Did you see that one fight where the Clemson guy tried to knock over that tower of cans and he tries to jump on the glass and he busts his ass and doesn't even knock over a can?
Yeah, pretty silly.
Yeah, regardless of that, I did want to mention two more things. I know y'all said we talked about Lenore Sellers turning down that $8 million. But it flew a little bit under the radar. It came out that Dylan Stewart also turned down a pretty massive NIL deal to transfer out, but the figure hasn't come out, or I would share that as well.
You know why it hasn't come out?
No.
Because if you read the story, he said point blank, I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking to transfer. I mean, that's what he said from the story, right? You read the story.
I haven't read it yet. I just scrolled through. I like to put the news.
We're not gonna find out what that number is because you know what? That young man doesn't give a shit.
That's
and has no desire to tell everybody else about, some other girl coming to give him money. He doesn't.
See, it's stuff like that keeps me alive in college football when so much shit is falling around it. It's crazy. I
was kind of stunned that Sellers' number came out. And that was from his dad. I was kind of stunned that came out.
Is that the first time that's done that for a player turning down a deal where the numbers came out?
No, I mean generally the numbers come out, and that's why sometimes they'll say they're inflated. I say they're inflated because they'll have somebody will come out and be like, well, my nephew turned down $4 million to come here. To put out this vibe that, he wants to be here, whatever. I don't believe half that shit that's out there, to be honest with you.
Well, also, from a trusted source, he accidentally leaked a Landon Duckworth commitment video. Landon Duckworth's been in Columbia for 2 weeks hanging out with some 4-star lineman recruits. Did I say 2 weeks? I meant 2 days. I don't know if I said 2 weeks, but he's been there for 2 days.
I thought you said 2 weeks. I was like,
no, he hadn't been there for 2 weeks.
Who the fuck has a high school kid on a 2-week visit?
Yeah, no, he's been there for 2 days with some 4-star offensive linemen, and there was a commitment video.
You don't think that was a commitment video from when he committed the first time, do you? And then decommitted?
No, I'm telling you, it was a trusted source, Scale. It was a trusted source.
So they leaked it?
Yeah, well, apparently it was posted by Landon too. So maybe he just wasn't ready to make it public.
I don't know.
Could have just been drafting. I don't know what it was, but from what I saw, it was a leak. I believe he's a firm Gamecock commit.
Yeah, Harrison wants to know about the O lineman. Now that guy, that Gray kid, dude, he's went on a damn official visit halfway. I mean, he's been to like 10 different schools.
I can tell you. So this is what it said.
I think he's just taking joy trips at this point. Well, official visits are over with now. It's a dead period. So
yeah, but
I know it's a dead period, Kale. But you think that shit isn't happening on campuses now?
Well, I know, but
I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just frustrates me.
You can't take official visits.
The frustrating thing on that front is that we have this whole thing of you have official visits here and there and everywhere else, but in the end, you don't have a governing body that says, "Hey, we're going to police this and make sure that programs follow it." And that's just bad too. And that's why you're losing guys like Peg and Megan, and he's watching, knock you in the meat box.
He's watching
fights.
meat boxes getting beat up.
He's watching meat boxes getting hammered instead of good old college football. So
college football. Hey, well, I wanted to, if it's okay with y'all, I know we're getting late. I wanted to kind of end on something I did before and test the old encyclopedia of Gamecock football. Are you open to a trivia question?
For me or Jackpot?
No, for Jackpot. He's the savant. Slow down, Rob. We both know who the savant is. Ziggy's locked in on you. You must have gave her some treats or something today.
That statement bothers me. I know just as much about football as he does. I'd hold my own in a trivia bowl with Jackpot.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna test you next time I call in. Then Rob,
you know what? That's you know what? If we have a live show this year, we're gonna have fucking football trivia. I'm gonna wipe the floor with this game.
Well, this isn't just your average football trivia. This is gonna be like I'm gonna
beat him.
I'm gonna give him a year, and I'm gonna give him a week.
I'm gonna beat him in Gamecock trivia for his own fucking team because he doesn't even know who Stephen Watt or who fucking Wattier is. His name's in the damn stadium. He doesn't know who he is. Then I'm gonna beat him in wrestling trivia too. It's gonna look like a fucking 63-17 game.
Okay.
Wear your ass out, Jackpot.
Okay, yeah. Talk is cheap.
Kale.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Are
South
you
Carolina football?
ready? Yep.
Oh, no. Let me give you the intro. Go ahead. Are you ready? The South Carolina savant himself ready to show his stuff. Kale, give me the 2006 Week 4 game that South Carolina won. I'll give you the 3 games before. Mississippi State Week 1, Georgia Week 2, Wofford Week 3. We won the game in Week 4, 45-6.
2006?
2006.
It's a non-conference game?
Non-conference.
Is it Troy?
Nope. Oh, yeah, I got him. Next hint, Sun Belt.
Sun Belt, 2006.
Yeah.
I think it was Louisiana Tech.
Nope. Hey, yeah, I don't think you're gonna get this one. I picked
No,
some.
don't tell me. Don't tell me. 2006.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
So we played Mississippi State Week 1, won 15-0. We lost to Georgia Week 2, 18-0. Played Wofford
18-0.
Won 27-20 against Wofford Week 3.
Damn.
And then Week 4, we played a non-conference game and won 45-6.
45-6, and it's a Sun Belt team.
Yeah. Let me make sure they're current Sun Belt. So now they're in the AAC. They're in the American Athletic Conference.
Shit, man.
And they're in the American now, but they were in the Sun Belt.
They were in the Sun Belt. They're in the American now.
Oh, I know who it is.
And then we lost the next week to Auburn, 17-22.
I know who it is. Can I guess?
Give him an honest chance. See if Kale can get it.
I'm drawing. Is it Florida Atlantic?
Ding, 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 ding.
That's who I was, Florida Atlantic.
Now I remember we played them. Now we played yeah, okay.
Hey, I'll give you the Troy. It took the man 2 tries, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not impressed, I don't know who is. Okay? Kale, I know it's late. Good night, man. Rob, good night. Love the stream. I'll take care, man.
All right, there you go. Peckerhead with his comment there. Thank you, sir.
Hi, Mommy.
All right, Jackpot.
All right, brother, man.
It's been a good show. We'll come back and do another one on Wednesday.
Hopefully, I can get some sleep now. I'm going to be breaking the iPad out and looking at this redneck fighting.
The redneck fighting's hilarious.
Because I'm interested in this.
I posted this. I posted on Facebook about this, about the 5 best athletes from South Carolina. We might do that on Wednesday because I think it's fun.
Did she say August 17th or 15th?
16th, sir.
August 16th. Yeah, I could definitely go to that probably because we're going on vacation, but it's the first week of August. So that would be a fun trip. Johnson City, Tennessee. I want to see this. This is intriguing to me. Some redneck. I wonder how.
Right,
I wonder
if
things actually sell out. There's no fucking way.
Hold on, Jackpot. I just looked it up. The next event is in Johnson City, Tennessee on August the 16th. If you wanted to go, we were talking about, you go to a Gamecock game, it's $100 a ticket. You can go. The best seat in the house is $58. I'm assuming that's like
ringside.
Ringside or where you could, catch somebody's fake teeth or whatever. But they start at $41 a ticket. So let's see here. Lower level, yeah. So, yeah, lower level 1. Let's look at that. And 2 tickets. Let's see here. I'm trying to get you the whole hard numbers on that there. 2 best available tickets. I mean, you could go for $58, and you and the wife can sit ringside and hold hands.
That seems.
And watch what String Bean and Pookie box each other again.
Watch somebody's meat box get pounded. That's hilarious.
Well, they may have other. I'm seeing if they have other events too. Hold on.
Are these people like members of a certain group, or is it just like anybody can just sign up and do it?
Look, if you go to redneckbrawl.com, fighter sign up, register to fight. Please fill out this form to fight on August the 16th. So you can hold on. I'm gonna share the screen list. You can see it because let's see. We'll stop that.
That's a fucking form.
No, I'm serious. There's a form, so you don't think I'm bullshitting you here. So if you go to Redneck Brawl and you click up top, fighter sign up form, register to fight. So you got to put your full name and what you want your ring name to be, and then your address and all that stuff, your gender, weight, height, and then they ask you where you work, street fight record. Have you had any sanctioned or organized fighting experience? You ever fought pro? Oh, then look at this. Then they ask you your hobby.
Your what?
They ask your hobbies.
Oh my God.
My name is Dave. I want to be known as Cornbread. I have fought pro 1 fight. I'm 0-1, and my hobbies are, I don't know, man. That's
stamp collecting. I mean, what
stamp collecting, and then the next one is grudge. Do you have a grudge against someone that you like to fight? Tell us about it.
I mean, I'm sure they have to sign some kind of waiver and everything too.
All right, so you have to upload a picture. The fights are 3 1-minute rounds with a minute rest between rounds. You only fight once. 16-ounce gloves are provided by the promoter. No headgear. No entry fee. Promoter pays for your boxing license. Okay. You must be, Jackpot, we're too old. You have to be between 18 and 45.
So that one girl's gonna pound that meat box. So that's like she's only gonna get 3 minutes worth of time to pound it, right? That's
3 minutes of
pounding. Pack a heck of a punch, I guess.
Well, then you get the weight classes. So they start with light flyweight, which is less than 108 pounds, to flyweight, bantamweight, lightweight, light welterweight, and then you move up to Super heavyweight is 202 pounds.
That's
Unlimited
super
weight
heavyweight.
differential. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Before we leave, what happened there? Hold on just a second, Jackpot. Let's run one. You still there? I don't know what happened to Jackpot. Did Jackpot leave us? Hold on, man. All right, before we leave, Jackpot, I wanted to show this really quick here, and then we'll go. Let me share this really quick here if we can make it work. There's Jackpot. I don't know what happened to Jackpot. All right, someone sent a message asking about this. We'll show this one thing really quick, and then we'll get out of here. All right, so that's the one we showed you earlier. So you got this one. No, we don't want to see that one. Oh, look at this little guy. Oh, here we go. So look at these little fellas. What a mess. So there you go. They're going to go after it. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys. We'll be back at it Wednesday. We'll see you later on.